Okay, thank you. I'll mute myself now.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Josie, if I don't know you, but I'm pretty sure I know all of you guys. I'm so excited for this because I heard you guys well, from experience, because I've hung out with some of you guys. You guys are like the party team, so I'm all about that. And I get a lot of questions, and before I hopped on this call, I was asking Precious, like, what do you want me to talk about? And a lot of people ask me what my secret is, but I guarantee you that everything that I tell you is stuff that you've already heard because we learn from the same people. Like, I literally take whatever Kendall Weldon tell me or Jacqueline Ortega tell me, anything that Bianca tells me, AJ, all of our mentors, I take whatever they say and I apply it and I see what works and what doesn't for me. But specifically, like, I wanted to share with you guys what has worked for me and what I like, because there are some things that haven't worked for me in the car. There are some things that haven't worked for me, so I want to share with you guys like things that have worked for me. And I think just going back to like consistency and showing up even when you don't want to. So that's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about, and then how to build those connections, whether with your team or with your potentials. Um, with my team, though, I have no idea how many girls are on my team because we're growing so fast, but I try to get to know as many of them as possible. So, like, I will treat, I mean, I know all my level ones, obviously, but like, for as far as like level twos and down, I don't know who's a level two, who's a level three, who's a level four, and I don't know who's under who directly because I treat them all as if they were, my level ones. So I feel like that has really, really helped. It is really overwhelming, I will admit. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of like, I don't know if I reached out to her yet, or I'll get girls on Instagram asking me for advice, and I'm like, I don't know if she's like on my team. There was one time when I was spending so much time helping this one girl set up her hair quiz. I helped her get her first VIP. It was like 3 hours of my day, just like going back and forth, and then only to find out that she wasn't even like under Jacqueline Ortega whatsoever. And I was just like, oh, okay. So that's just me, like how I like to treat girls in this business. And all of you guys too, you guys know that you guys can come to me for anything. Um, and okay, so going back to like building those connections, Caitlin, we all know Caitlin. She's from Hawaii. She was my first market partner and she was my friend at the time. And when I started this business, she was the first person that I reached out to. And I'm so glad she said yes. It took a while, but she did say yes eventually. And she literally took over Hawaii. And like I try to get to know as many of the Hawaii girls as much as possible. And then like later on, I tried to build locally in my town. I live close to San Diego. Um, I have a best friend named Shannon. I'm sure some of you guys know her. She's a spiritual coach. And then she joined like later on. And she kind of, she didn't fall off, but she kind of took a step back to build her coaching business. But the reason why I say it's so important to treat all your level twos and beyond as if they were your level one is because you never know who is going to be your next runner. It might not be your direct line. It could be the girl that she signed or the girl that signed under her, and then it could be your level three. Sheila, I'm sure you guys all know Sheila. She is my she's my level two, but you wouldn't even know it because we are so close. We work so closely together and our energies like totally bounce off of each other. And you would never know that we didn't even know each other before this business, but she is also one of my best girls in this business. You guys also might know Jessica Puentes. I met her at an influencer boot camp, and at the time we were both at our old jobs. The job that I hated, and I was telling her from day one, I am going to quit this job. Like, I don't care what it takes. I need to be able to travel the world. And so she was one of also the first people that I reached out to when I started this business. And she told me no probably like 6 times. But eventually she came back and she was just like, hey, are you still taking on people? Because I want to do this with you. And I took her on, and she is also one of my best girls as well. But what I'm trying to say is, like, your best girls are sometimes going to be the girls that you are the most closest to. When you nourish those friendships, whether they start out as cold market or not, when you nourish those friendships, those are going to be your closest friends, and those are going to be the best girls, because there's just something about being super close with the girls that you bring on. I obviously have had girls who have signed on and then they kind of quit. Like, I had a girl quit last week, but I didn't really take the time to nourish those friendships. And when they quit, it was like, well, who's Josie to me? Like, she's a nobody. So it's easier for them to quit when they don't have that connection with you, when they don't have that, attachment's kind of a strong word, but when they don't have that connection. Yeah, like when they don't see you as like a friend, when they don't see you as like someone that they could grow in this business with. So that's why I try to be as connected with all of my girls, no matter if they're level 1 or level 10. I don't even know if I have a level 10, but just try to be as like best friends with as many people in your downline as possible, because that's how you're going to help them grow. And then I took down notes. Okay, another thing that I like to do is getting to know them. Obviously, like, we know like each other's hobbies and zodiac signs, but it goes so much more beyond that, because when you get to know them, like their astrology sign, obviously, their color personality. We have four color personalities of MLM. When you get to know them beyond, like, towards those levels, and then get to know their Enneagram, get to know their love language. If you guys haven't heard of the 5 love languages, definitely research those, because it's so much more than just romantic relationships. When some of my girls are in a funk, if I know their love language, I can reach out to them better. Like, if I know Mary's love language is words of affirmation, and I kind of sense that she's in a funk, I will reach out to her and kind of just build her back up with using nice words like, you're doing amazing. Like, remember when you told me your why? We can get you there together. Don't worry, you're not in this alone, I promise you. If I know that Jessica's love language is receiving gifts, I mean, I've told her this too. I was like, once you hit MMB, like, we went out shopping in LA, and she fell in love with this sparkly bikini. And I was just like, once you hit MMB, I don't even care how much that is, I'm going to get that for you. Because I know that her love language is receiving gifts. My love language is physical touch. So my upline, Bianca, she lives all the way on the other side of the country, but even just getting a text from her like, I can't wait to squeeze you, it just makes me feel so special, because it's that, like, physical touch. It's in the form of words in a text, but obviously just like the thought of like getting to hug her and her hugging me makes me feel like I'm really valued on this team. So get to know your girls' love languages. Even sometimes when the chat's quiet and I don't want to talk about the business or the products, I'll just throw in like, hey, everybody throw in what your zodiac sign is and 2 things that you love about being that zodiac sign. And you will see, like, the girls who haven't spoken in months, or not months, but like weeks, all of a sudden they'll be popping up and saying like, oh, I'm an Aries and I really love the fact that I'm blah, blah, blah. You know, like, oh, okay, so you're listening. But so yeah, get to know your girls beyond just the business. Be their friend. And you guys have such a tight-knit community. I see you guys doing all these events. Like, you have that. And definitely play that up on Instagram. Take so many pictures together. Play up the fact that you guys are a community. And also get to know your separate teams as well. Hey Alani, she's the girl that just became a founder recently. Her girls, I know that they bounce off of each other. So I can't really like incentivize them with gifts or money. I can incentivize, like, hey, Alani's really, really good at incentivizing them with like separate boot camps, or like, you're going to be in this chat if you hit this rank or this milestone, because they all want to be able to achieve those milestones, but they want to do it together. With my Maryland team, which is Sheila, I know that they really, really thrive off of community. So they, like, when Sheila goes, like, I don't know, to Paris or whatever, and she doesn't have Wi-Fi, I can sense that her girls are kind of sad and they kind of miss her, because they don't feel as close to her as they normally would. So I try to like go into the chat, and I can't be like Sheila, because Sheila has her own very unique gifts, as you know, but you know, I can tell that they thrive off of that community. So I'll tell them, you know, don't wait for Sheila to come back from Paris or whatever to throw an event. Host an event together just at your house. Have like a wine night. Have like a puppy play date together, you know, and post pictures that you get to do this with your business partners. with my San Diego team, we are the biggest party animals that I know. So some of the girls, if I feel like they're kind of falling off and not working as hard as they say they want to, then something that I would do is like, you know, reach out to them one-on-one and be like, hey, I just haven't heard from you in a while. I have to make new room in the chat because you're growing so quickly. But I wanted to hear from you firsthand. Are you still in this with me or not? You know, because I want to help you reach your goal. But obviously, if you want to step away for a while, that's totally fine. I just have to make room in the chat. Like, they don't want to miss out being in the chat because we go out to happy hour every Thursday. They're going to miss out on happy hours. They're going to miss out on parties that we do. Like, we have, like, you know, events all the time. So I know that that's not their weakness, but I know that that's like their language in the business, and I'm going to use that to motivate them. And then, let's see. As for potentials, do you guys have any questions so far about having connections with your teams? No? Okay. So as far as potentials, seriously, guys, I just treat everyone like they're my best friend. Like, Precious knows this. Like, when we're at Monations, I would stop and talk to like homeless people. I would stop and talk to like, if I saw a pretty girl, I would be like, oh my gosh, you look so perfect right there. Stand right there. I'm going to take your picture and I'll text it to you, you know, like things like that. Treat everyone like they're your best friend. That's just how I have met so many potentials. I don't know if you guys know Kayla. She's on my team too, but she's in Vegas. And I actually went to Vegas to do a full moon party with her a couple months ago. But how I met her was through an online crystal sale. So I'm very, very geeky about crystal sales, but we were auctioning for the same crystal and she got it. And then afterwards, I wasn't even trying to like pitch her anything. I didn't think about, you know, Monet. I was just like, wait, like, how did you get that crystal so fast? You're so lucky. What else did you get from the sale? And that's how our relationship kind of flourished. And then a week later, she took my influencer application and now we're together in this. So you just never know how you're going to meet your next potential, even when you're not trying. Like, even when you're just opening your mouth about the business, opening up your mouth about just being open about being friends with them. So that's just how I've learned to like talk to people without having that like stigma or like of being slimy or salesy, is because naturally I'm just talking to someone about their outfit or their hair, or they like, hey, let me take your picture. And then yeah, like, oh, so another example I want to share with you guys is my most recent VIP. I just signed her up. She and we have never met before, but mainly our relationship was built on the foundation of pug memes. So I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you guys to know that you need to own the fact that you can be whoever you want to be online. When you show up on Instagram, don't be afraid of looking silly or stupid. You don't look stupid. You're all beautiful. Don't be afraid of like what other people will think, because I met this girl, Marianne, on Instagram. I've never met her in real life, but our friendship was just about like sending each other pug memes like every day. And then one day recently, she was like, hey, I have two friends that I think could really, really use the hair care. Here are their phone numbers. And then she gave me her friends' phone numbers, but then she also decided to sign up as a VIP as well. And that was just based off of me like willing to be silly and sending her pug memes, this complete stranger pug memes. So you just never know, but you have to give yourself that permission to be silly and just to talk to strangers. It's not that scary. And then that was just an example, but I'm going off on a tangent. Oh, also, beauty bags have helped me get potentials as well. And I know like this could be a separate call. I won't go too much into detail, but the beauty bags have worked for me. And I think it's because when I meet with them one-on-one, then I can give them full attention. So there's this call on Boss Babe or something where Denise explains that you have to treat this business kind of like it's dating. and you have to make them feel like they're really, really special. And honestly, like, we're all genuine people. We want to make people feel special and beautiful. So when I meet up with these girls that are borrowing the beauty bags, I really listen to their hair concerns, and I really want to let them know that I'm going to be there for their hair care journey from day one. And Shar is a really good example of this because I let her borrow the beauty bags. And before, I think while she was still trying them out, there was a really, really good sale. So she signed up as a VIP. And then before she even got her VIP stuff, she decided to upgrade to a market partner. And she was just like, well, you made it sound so fun. Like, just the way that you were so excited talking about the beauty bag. And then I think you guys had just had an event too. So I was showing her, you guys, like, I was showing her your posts about the event that you just had. And she was just like, this is what you guys do for work? And I'm like, yeah, like, look at Hillary and look at this girl and that girl, and this is what we do. But I wasn't trying to pitch her anything. I was just sharing the fact that I love what I do. And she became a market partner, and she's helping me take over San Diego right now. But yeah, like, treating your potentials like you're dating and giving them all that attention. But at the same time, just like Denise said, like, you don't want to give them too much information. Like, have your one liner or your elevator pitch. You don't want to go all like 4 paragraphs of what you do. And, you know, if someone asks me what I do, I depends on their age though, because if they're like older, they might not know what an influencer is. But usually I'll tell them like, oh, I'm an influencer for an anti-aging beauty company just online. And that kind of gets them to ask me like more like, oh my gosh, like what company, or oh, anti-aging, or that's cool, how did you get into that? But yeah, like, have your elevator pitch ready. And this is why you want to have a really strong elevator pitch, is because my girlfriend Mary, she had an event and she asked me if I want to raffle off products, but I was already heading out the door, so all I had in my car was a brand new bottle of dry shampoo. So I was like, okay, I'll just raffle that off. And she gave me 2 minutes to go up there and explain about the dry shampoo, or just about Monat in general. And I had no idea what I was going to say, but I went up there and I explained how the dry shampoo is so different from other dry shampoos, and how, you know, because I like to go camping. One time I put dry shampoo, like a regular dry shampoo, into the fire, and it like was an inferno. And then when I used our dry shampoo, it literally put the fire out at our campground. And from that event, I got 3 VIPs that day. And it was just from that 2-minute elevator pitch that I didn't even know that I knew, but apparently you need to have an elevator pitch ready for the moments like that. Okay, and another thing that I like to share with my girls is, because it's like you have to treat it like dating, sometimes you have to be cute. Like, obviously we're all cute, but you're gonna play it up cute. Like, when I knew that Jess was about, like, when I knew that Jess had this one potential and she just didn't want to sign up for some reason, I established a friendship with this potential. And I was just like, I don't know, we were talking about the full moon or something. But then I was just like, oh yeah, you're with Monat too, right? You work with us too, right? And she was like, oh no, I'm not. I actually want to try it, but I haven't signed up yet. And then I was just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were working with us because you're so close to Jess. And it opened up this entire dialogue of her relationship with Jess, how badly she wants to do this, how she didn't have the money to sign up for the $199 package. And I got her to hop on a potential call that night because I think Isabel was doing one. And of course, Isabel and Joe and Bianca are like insane. So that weekend, she held a garage sale or something, and she made the money to sign up with Jessica. So, like, this is what I learned from Kendall Weldon. You just have to assume the friendship and assume the sale. And Kendall said on a call one time, she was like, yeah, I'll just go around looking at people with nice hair and be like, you're with Monat too, right? Or like, oh, you use Monat too, right? Don't you love it? And they're just like, no, what is that? You know? So it opens up this new dialogue. My girlfriends who come to happy hour, who are like, oh, I don't want to come out tonight because I don't have any potentials. I'm like, don't even worry about it. We'll meet new potentials there. Like, we're going out, we're going dancing, you know, we're going to meet new people, obviously. So my friend, she didn't have potentials. And that night we sat at this like long lounge, and there were these 2 really, really pretty girls who I obviously know they're not on our team, but when it came time to like go to the photo booth, I was like rallying everyone, like, okay, let's go to the photo booth. Let's go to the photo booth. And these two pretty girls, I just came up to them, assuming they were part of our group. Obviously, I know they're not, but I was just like, come on, let's go to the photo booth all together. And then they got into our photos, and now I have a group photo of all of us. But but it's also like that's how my friend got two new potentials, and one of them just happens to be a hairstylist. And I was like, okay, before they leave on that photo, have them write down their Instagram, because we're all going to stay connected and hang out at the next happy hour. So it's just those little things, like you have to help your team, you help your girls get potentials just by doing whatever you can and like showing, like leading by example. And I obviously don't care if I look stupid. Like I probably look insane to a lot of people, but I don't care because this business is my baby. And that's another thing that I want to bring up is like when I hear girls, not on this team obviously, but like when I hear girls that are like, oh, I didn't hop on the call because I was driving, or I was at the gym, or you know, my boyfriend and I had a fight so I couldn't hop on the call, or like whatever. I'm just like, this business, like no matter what kind of crap my life has, like no matter what kind of stuff that I've gone through this entire year, and I've gone through some crazy things, this business is my unplug. You know, it is me like disconnecting from everything else and then finding something of my own. So when girls tell me, you know, I can't sign up because I don't have the time, and then I'm just like, girl, like I understand. I used to not have time either. Like I didn't have time for myself. I didn't have time for my boyfriend, my son, homework, traveling, whatever. I didn't have time. I missed Thanksgiving with my own family because I was busy like housekeeping for another family for an extra $120. And at the time I thought it was worth it, but now I look back and I'm like, I should have hung out with my mom instead. You know, so I didn't have that time. And when girls tell me like, oh, I can't join this because I don't have the money, I relate to them somehow. You know, I didn't have the money when I started this. I told Bianca to give me one more day. I went to Target, I returned something, who knows. I got the money and I signed up that day, but like I spent everything that I had. I couldn't even afford a water bottle for my son, like because I knew that this was going to change my life and change my son's life. And it has. And that is why I show up every single day, because if it can change my life in 1 year, imagine 2 years, 3 years. But you guys have to show up every single day. Like if you're trying to hit MMP or AMB or MMB, trying to become a founder, like honestly, it is so much work, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. Like people ask me like, how did you hit I didn't sleep. I don't think I had a social life unless it was like Monet related. I skipped a lot of date nights. My son played by himself a lot. He still does, actually. Yesterday, my sister took him to Disneyland instead of me, and it was kind of hard for me, but I would rather work my tail off for this short amount of time, let him go to Disney, have his fun, and then miss out on that myself so that one day we can go to Disneyland like freaking every day of the week if we want to, you know? I'm kind of Disneyed out anyway, so it was not a loss. But yeah, like you guys have to treat this like it is. If you're saying that you want this to be your full-time job and you want to quit your other job, you have to treat this like it's already your full-time job, and you have to put in that amount of work. Because if you are trying to become a founder, but you're still like putting in only 1 hour a day, yeah, 1 hour a day is going to keep your business going, but it's not going to get you founders. It's not going to get you a Cadillac. It's not going to get you to SED. Like, look at Isabel and Joe and Bianca. You know, they're putting in probably like 16 plus hours a day. Maybe, I don't know. But you know they're putting in more than one. And I'm definitely putting more in than one. And all the founders that have popped on our team are definitely putting in more than 1 hour a day. But you have to like call yourself out on that bullshit. If you're saying like, I really want to become a founder, but then you're making excuses like, oh, I can't show up today because I have cramps, or because I got in a fight with my boyfriend or whatever. Like, really think, like, is in at the end of the month, is that really going to matter? Because at the end of the month, you're going to be thinking, oh, okay, well, I didn't hit my goal, and that's fine, but are you really establishing that momentum this month for next month and then the month after that? Like, I want to shoot for AED this month. I might not hit it. My DV is where it needs to be, but I might not hit it. But I know that the momentum that I'm carrying this month will eventually lead me to AED. If not this month, maybe next month. But it's not like, oh, I really want AED, but I'm just going to put in 1 hour a day. Like, that's not going to get me to AED. And then, let's see. Do you guys have any questions? I feel like I'm talking a lot, but is this helpful? Okay.
Yes, yes, this is exactly what we wanted to hear from you.
Okay.
All of your goodness, all of it.
Very good.
Thank you. We love you.
I love you guys too. Oh my gosh. And then something that I hear from some of my girls, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but is some of them are like, well, I haven't seen the hair transformations that everyone else is, experiencing. I haven't seen the money that everyone else is experiencing, so I don't feel confident in talking about it. So pick the things that you are excited about. Maybe the fact that before this opportunity, you only had like 2 girlfriends who didn't even get you, and now you have like 5,000 of us? I don't know. There's a lot of us. Or pick the things like, even making an extra $100 a month just for groceries, or putting new tires on your car, or paying off your credit card bill, your small credit card bill, like paying more than the minimum required. Things like that. Those are all milestones that all of us have experienced, and those are so relatable. They don't have to be like this overnight hair cure, or I went from living on the streets to like $1 million the next day. Like, they don't have to be those extravagant stories. Sometimes just taking people through your journey of, I couldn't afford this, but now I can, and then now I'm able to do this. Like, taking them through the journey of that. People are watching you. There's people who were watching me, I didn't even know were watching me, and then they were like, hey, I found you through so and so. Most of them are my sister's friends from high school, which I didn't even know they were following me, but they're watching. And some people are so like good at creeping that they will never, reach out to you until the right time. But you have to, talk about everything in the business, talk about the free trips and the car and the founder's opportunity, but figure out what you love the most about this business and really hone in on that, because that's going to help you be relatable. That's going to help you look more confident online. And like an example, I didn't really talk about the Cadillac program that much because it didn't really excite me. Even though I like qualify for it now, I'm not like that excited about it. So I don't really talk about it that much. But what you do see me talking about is how it helped me be able to get more time back with my son, or like the founder's opportunity, or how it changed my financial income. Like, those are the things that I love. And obviously, like, meeting new friends, and those are the things that I'm going to really play up. But I will touch on like the other things too in the business, just in case someone else is watching and is like, I really need a new car, so I should probably try this out too. You never know. But if you are feeling like, I'm not exactly, like, my transformation isn't exactly this mind blowing as so and so, just pick the things that excite you about this, and it's going to really help you look so much more confident online, so much more confident when you're talking to people face to face. And then, oh, Kendall was saying that you are now a walking billboard, and I really, really like that. Like, I don't have anything that says Monat on it besides my backpack, but she was like, you have to wear like Monat shirts and Monat hats, and those are like really, really good conversation starters. But also, like, how I've done it, because I don't have any Monat gear, I've also, like, if I leave a review on Amazon for whatever, like shoes or whatever, I will leave my Instagram handle on it. My Poshmark account, I don't sell clothes on Poshmark, but I buy like stuff once a year, maybe. I leave my Instagram handle on it, and I've actually had 2 girls on Poshmark to take my influencer application, and one of them signed up. So you just never know who's going to see you and like follow you on Instagram. So always put yourself out there. And then, so what I'm trying to say is like, if you have like a Facebook or Amazon or I don't know any other websites, Poshmark, Depop, like any of those, like add your Instagram on it because you never know who's gonna. Yeah, Pinterest too. Thank you. Pinterest is good too. Yeah, those things. Add your Instagram on it. You never know who's gonna be like, oh, she pins like really, really cute recipes. Who is this girl? And then they follow you and you're like, oh damn, she has really, really nice hair. Like I need this too, you know? You just never know. So get yourself out there. You are now a walking billboard. Congratulations. And then let's see. Oh, make an application. If you haven't made the influencer application yet, definitely take some time out to do that. It's kind of like the hair quiz, but you're trying to get market partners. And that has really helped me get cold, like reach out to my cold market. I've never cold pitched in my life. I've just never really had a need for it because I'm continuing to add people into my funnel that Caitlin Antle is always talking about. And then I like to turn my cold market into my warm market. So, you know, like I'm always becoming friends with somebody. I'm always becoming friends with somebody. So my cold market doesn't stay cold market for very long. But yeah, I've never needed to cold pitch anyone because I have my influencer application for that. And they kind of pitch themselves to me. Like the way that you could literally like copy paste my quiz because the way that I wrote everything, it almost makes it sound like obviously like that I'm the employer. You know, like why do you feel like you're a good fit for this opportunity? Why do you feel like you want to be able to work online? And some of the like some of the answers that they'll give me, like these are the most sweet, genuine people I've ever like read about. And it's not so much like I'm telling them about the opportunity. They're telling me why they would be a good fit. And it just I'm not saying it makes me feel like superior or anything, but it changes my mindset of like, okay, how can I help this person versus, oh my God, like I need to get my DV up. I need to add more girls to my team because my GV is getting low. Like, no, it changes my mindset personally to be like, okay, well, how can I help this person? Or even if she's like, is she even a good fit? So yeah, influencer application and I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. But basically, you guys, like, I don't know if I feel guilty about this. Maybe I don't. But this is how important this opportunity is for me. You know, on the first day of the year, I told Hillary that I was going to be SED. Is Hillary on this call? Oh, she's not. But I told Hillary that I was going to be SED by December. And that still is my goal. But like I have such Hulk strength tunnel vision. That's what my sister calls it. She's like, you have like Hulk strength tunnel vision because every end of the month she can sense it in our house. Like she lives with me, so she can see like how hard I work. But she can tell, and like I have given up time with like my son from Disneyland. I'll go with him once in a while, but like, you know, yesterday he went with my sister and I missed out on that. But honestly, like I would rather be on calls like this with you guys. And then I'm a maid of honor for my sister's wedding. She's getting married in January and I have no idea what it takes to be a maid of honor, but obviously I was like, I don't think I have time. So I gave my maid of honor duties to her friend, the other bridesmaid. And her friend is like so happy with it. So it like worked out both ways, you know? But that's just an example of how important I'm making this business. Like I know it's going to take me a lot further if I hone in and give it my all now. And then 3 years from now, maybe even a year from now, like I will be living a very, very different life because I made the sacrifice. Yeah, so those are just a few of the sacrifices that I've made. But like I know that I can't beat myself up for that because it's something that I chose, and like I know that it's going to pay off. So just something that I want to reiterate.
I just wanted to thank you again. You gave us all the secret sauce, and I think we really appreciate it. We only have like 3 minutes, but if anybody has any specific questions, I know Josie is happy to answer them for us.
Thank you, Josie. I loved everything you said. You like answered all the questions.
Oh, good. Good. I know I talk a lot.
I like it. It was good, very motivating and inspiring.
Okay.
You're a badass.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Does everybody want to take a picture real quick?
yeah.
Everybody ready? Whose iPad, Celeste? Yes. Jess, let's see your face. Okay. Cool. Josie, thank you so much. We'll see you on the gram. Have a good day. Love you.
Love you. Bye, guys.
Bye.